Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's me, Yoinked, with another fucking video. Let's go, dude. But anyway, this week has been pretty nice in my opinion. You know, people are finally waking up and finding out that racism still exists. Like, wow, dude, who would have thought? And well, I've got nothing to do this week because school ended, so I'm just vibing at home. But you know what made me really happy? Jake Paul getting charged for criminal trespassing on full assembly. And guess what's the good part? He's facing up to 6 months in prison, dude. Let's go. Okay, no, that's not the point of the video though. For this video, I put some really deep thought into it. I thought that I should make another video of me reading up some fucked up stories, and I thought it could be nice if it was like a weekly thing. So I present to you Sunday stories with me, Yoinked. Yeah, let's go. So the point is that I read these fucked up stories from like Wattpad or any other website that I deem worthy for these stories that I'm gonna read. And well, today I decided to continue reading some dumbass fanfictions from Wattpad because a couple of my friends asked me to do more of those. But before I start reading all of this shit, please subscribe to my channel and hit that like button and turn on your notifications, because I will be trying to upload more and more because I love doing this. I just don't have many ideas, but I promise you guys I'm gonna start making. Also, I'm not planning to make this video like 18 minutes long like last time because that was boring to watch, bro, I swear to god. So I'm gonna try to keep these short, so by the end of the video I won't be some 40-year-old man who's having like their 9th midlife crisis. But enough of that, let's get into the video, boys. Alright, well, after scavenging through Wattpad, you know, like the raccoon I am, I found this Steven Universe fanfic. NSFW, keep the NSFW in mind, okay? So let's start with chapter 1, The Flirt. Lapis Lazuli looked at Peridot with an excited and wet look in her eyes. Peridot looked back, weirded out, and waved at her. Lapis came over and said to Peridot, "Hey, how are you, hot thing?" Peridot started blushing and said, "Lapis, what did you just say?" I said, "How are you, hot thing?" Lapis answered. Chapter 2, The Best Night Ever. NSFW. Later that night. "So, why are we here, Lapis? I'm scared." "Don't worry, Perry, it will be so fun." "I don't think your version of fun is fun to me." "Don't worry, Perry, it will be great. Do you think I'm hot?" Lapis, did you just ask me what I think you did?" "I don't know, did I?" "What I said is, do you think I'm hot?" "Yes." "Well, wanna make out?" Lapis grabbed Spiridot and started kissing her. The two start making out heavily. Steven's POV. "What's that noise?" Walks up to the door. Bang! "What in the name?" "Steven, language," Pearl said. "Of Yellow Diamond." "Let's open the door," Pearl said. "Okay." Steven opens door. Pearl covers Steven's eyes. "Lapis and Peridot, why are you doing that in the bathroom?" Me and Peridot were playing the naughty version." "In Steven's house? Why couldn't you do it in the barn or temple?" "Pearl, the barn was destroyed, remember? I hit Blue Diamond in the head with it." Later that night, Steven's POV. In his dream. "Oh, Blue Diamond. No, aha, they're going at it again. Get me out of here." This is a masterpiece. To be continued? Wait, there's no more parts? Last edited almost 2 years ago? Dude, come on. Please make more. I'm dying to see what happens next. Sorry, my typos, bro. This fan fiction makes me drool all over my microphone. Please continue it. Listen, guys, this is a masterpiece. Come on, they have to continue this. CamoCat9, please continue this fanfiction. Listen, this is a masterpiece. You know, I love how he has like normal stories and then there's Steven Universe fanfic. But anyway, I'm gonna find one more like Mimi story this time. I don't want to do any like actual like stories this time because I've recorded this video once and I was reading like a proper like Taekook fanfiction, bro, and OBS decided to crash and I was so angry, bro. I can't read that gay stuff like again. Like not today, and I need to get this video out today. So I'm just gonna, you know, chill out and read another Mimi NSFW story, okay? I think I'm gonna find a Shrek one or something, and I'm gonna read that next. I don't want to read some proper Taekook, Jungkook, gay sex orgy thing right now, because I'm kind of worn out today, you know? It's been a long day. It's like 6 p.m. or some shit, you know? But alright, I'll see you when I find the next fanfic. Alright, well, I searched Shrek fanfic NSFW, and I found Shrek X Bread and Shrek and Ronald McDonald. You know Ronald McDonald? He looks kind of scary. So I'm just gonna pick the Shred X Bread. Let's see, Bread fanfiction, Shrek. You know it's good when the bio is I'm sorry. Let's pick a random, I'll go chapter 3. Shrek's POV. Shrek was pissed off. He had spent all day trying to get Lord Farquaad to leave him alone. Lord Farquaad kept coming into his house to try and convince him to be best friends. Shrek didn't need a best friend. He was fine on his own. He didn't need anyone. That's what he kept telling himself. After being bullied back in high school, he didn't think anyone would ever want to be with him, much less be friends with him. When he met Fiona, he thought that changed. He could finally trust someone who loved him for who he is, someone who loved him no matter what, or at least that's what he thought. He would never forget the day he found Fiona cheating on him, the day he walked in the door and he saw her on the bed making out with the one and only Donkey. Donkey looked at Shrek straight in the eyes. He could only see the anger build up inside of him. Get out of my swamp. Donkey quickly skedaddled out of there, and Shrek finally made eye contact with his once lover. She looked at him with worry eyes in fear that Shrek would never forgive her. Shrek, she said quietly, almost a whisper. He looked at her in the eye, trying to stay strong as he held back tears. You heard me, Fiona. Get out my swamp. She slowly made her way to the door and looked back at him final time before leaving. Shrek sat down in a chair and finally let the tears roll down his face. He would never forget how he felt in that moment, and he sure as hell would never forgive her for what she did. Now that he was living on his own, with no ring on his left hand, he was lonely. Sometimes he wishes he had forgiven her. Granted, she was a hoe. They were happy together. They could have tiny ogre children playing in the swamp together, and someday they would have children making Shrek a grandfather. Trying to get the thought of his slutty ex-wife out of his mind, he went to the kitchen to make some food. Little did he know, his life was about to change for the better. When he stepped in the kitchen, he finally saw it. The inanimate object that would change his life. Shrek ran over to the loaf of bread. He didn't remember putting it there. Did the bread break into his house? Was this a blessing from God? Whatever it was, Shrek was moved by the loaf of bread. He could already tell that they were soulmates. This is so juicy, I need to read the next part. This is too juicy, guys. Come on. Like, alright. Warning, very graphic content. Please do not read if you're under the age of 18. Well, you know, of course, I'm over 18, guys. You know that. You all know that. Alright, this one's where I can read this and then end the video. Alright. The bread was blushing, as much as the loaf of the bread could. It waited for Shrek to reach the kitchen. That's when he would finally be with his lover. When Shrek reached the kitchen, he looked up at the loaf of bread, straight in the eye, as he opened the cupboard and pulled out a toaster. Shrek slammed the toaster on the counter, forcefully plugged it into the socket on the wall. Shrek picked up a knife and slowly brought it down to the loaf of bread. He slowly pushed the knife down onto the loaf of bread. The loaf of bread would have to have made a noise, but it could not talk, as it is a loaf of bread. My stomach hurts. Shrek picked up the slice of bread that he cut off and brought it to the toaster. When he dropped the bread into the toaster, it could already feel heat engulf it. The bread was in agony. It spent 2 whole minutes in that toaster. It had felt like ages, but suddenly the toaster popped up. It sent him flying out of the toaster. The bread looked down at his body, which was now crispy and dark brown colored. The bread was happy, and it hoped Shrek liked it too. You know, it was so short. I have to read the final part. I need to read the final part. I need to see what happens to the bread. Alright. This will be the last chapter. Bread's POV. Shrek and the loaf of bread had been together for several years now. They were now standing at the altar at their wedding. The loaf of bread stared in awe as it saw its soon-to-be husband walking down the aisle. Shrek was wearing a beautiful gown. The bread would have teared up at sight if it had tear ducts. When Shrek got to the end of the aisle, it looked at his lover and with tears in his eyes and said, "I love you." The loaf of bread was overwhelmed with emotion. He could tell that his friends and family, and even the whore Fiona, supported their relationship. All of their friends knew they were in love. "Do you, Shrek, take this bread to be your lawful wedded spouse?" "I do. Do you, nameless loaf of bread, take Shrek to be your lawful wedded husband?" The loaf of bread did not respond, as it is a loaf of bread. "I now pronounce you husband and bread." So this was my extremely fucked up fanfiction. Shout out to Liam for bro, this was amazing. This was literally amazing. I'm in tears right now. It was so sad and so beautiful, bro. I'm in tears right now. I'm in tears. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Patrick Star. My favorite Wattpad writer. Amazing job. I can't take this website anymore. Next week I'm reading something else. This website is too much for me emotionally. I'm in tears right now, bro. Alright, well, that's it for the video. Sorry I started crying. That was such an emotional and beautiful story that I just read. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. And by the way, I'm working on a Discord server for this YouTube channel, so you guys should totally, like, join it when it's done. I'm gonna get it in my next video, probably. I just feel like it's a better way to grow my community and interact and ask for video ideas and stuff. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so you can know when I upload next. And I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Hey, the glue go off? I yoinked it, did my spread go off?